What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Big Fight Field channel, where we speak the truth, we're honest, we give our takes on professional wrestling on WWE. I just watched the Royal Rumble, and overall, look, man, I had a very enjoyable night. I thought it was a good pay-per-view. There's a lot of stuff that you can sink your teeth in. There's a lot of stuff that when you're watching this show, you sit there and be like, okay, so they're setting up this match for WrestleMania, and these two might be linked into a feud. And there is some matches that connect the dots for me. Like, obviously, the interaction we got between Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, I thought was really good. Neither of them touched each other. That might be a possible match at WrestleMania. Obviously, with the two Royal Rumble winners, we know, I believe, what makes most sense and what's been going on television, what the options of the Royal Rumble winners are going to be, which this year were Bayley and Cody Rhodes. We're going to get to that when we talk about those matches and their respective matches. But overall, the vibe of the show, I thought the crowd was tired for both Rumble matches. I thought the crowd was very much dead. Not very much, but they were very lukewarm for the Women's Royal Rumble. And when Becky Lynch came out at number 21, I feel like that's when the spark of the match started to rise up and the intensity got out there. They had a really funny comical skit with R-Truth in the Women's Royal Rumble. Jade Cargill made her appearance, which was all the flack I gave Jade in AEW. I actually thought tonight was a really good spot for her. She got a couple moves in there. They had a big spot with her and Nia Jax. But again, what was lacking was the surprises. And really, the biggest surprise in the Women's Royal Rumble was Jordynne Grace. And the biggest surprise in the Men's Royal Rumble was Andrade. And I'm like, listen, awesome. Happy to see Jordynne Grace in there representing TNA. Happy to see Andrade back in WWE. But what was ruining this match for me was there were so many wasted spots for lower card guys and girls. And not necessarily girls. I can give them a pass, but for the guys, way too many lower card guys that absolutely stood no chance in this match. Like, I don't know. The spot where number 20, 21, and 22, right? They had Braun Breaker coming out at 20. They had Omos coming out at number 21. And number 22 was Pat McAfee. Now, in my opinion, that Pat McAfee spot was going to be Brock Lesnar. Obviously, things happened when Brock Lesnar's name was brung up in the Vince McMahon allegations. We're not going to talk about that. But I believe that spot was going to be for Brock Lesnar, and that big standoff between Braun Breaker and Gunther. I'd imagine that would have been Gunther and Brock Lesnar, kind of teasing a match for WrestleMania, but they did this wasted. Like, there were so many wasted spots in this match with Omos, Ivar from the Viking Raiders, Pat McAfee, JD McDonough, The Miz. I give R-Truth a pass because he's hilarious and he's legitimately over. The fact that this dude is still over as heck, and I'm laughing my ass off when R-Truth is out in the ring doing his thing. He's the best, but not really. There wasn't really a lot of surprises in this match, and I felt like the surprise factor was lacking. I thought the men's match, I don't know, man. Something was off about it. Something was off about the men's match that I didn't feel with the women's match. I felt the women's match was pretty exciting towards the end, actually. And this this really wasn't that exciting until the last four, which was Drew McIntyre, Gunther, CM Punk, and Cody Rhodes. And then for the women's match, the match got really good when Becky Lynch came in. I thought the women's match tonight, this year, I thought the women's Royal Rumble was better than the men's. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk all about it. So let's just dive right into it, man. I've already kind of dove into it in the opening there. You guys can subscribe. You know what to do. Women's Royal Rumble opened up the show. I'm just going to go over who the entrants were in this match. You had Natalya. Naomi made her return. Very happy for Naomi. She just ended her run with TNA. She's back in the WWE. She's got merch selling on WWE Shop now. Bayley was number 3. Then you have Candice LeRae. Jordynne Grace representing TNA for a second year in a row. Last year was Mickie James. This year it is Jordynne Grace, the Knockouts champion. And I thought she looked good. They gave a lot of stuff. They gave her a lot in that match. She got a couple of eliminations. She got a face-to-face with Bianca Belair, and then she ultimately got eliminated by Bianca Belair. But I thought Jordynne Grace had herself a pretty good showing tonight in the Women's Royal Rumble. Then you have Indy Hartwell, Asuka, Ivy Nile, Katana Chance. Bianca Belair came out at number 10. I don't remember exactly who it was who eliminated Bianca. I think it was Bayley, but I do remember the final 3 was Bayley, Jade Cargill, and Liv Morgan. Number 11 was Kairi Sane. Number 12 was Tegan Nox. Number 13 was Kaden Carter. I had a problem with this, man. I hate being the nitpicker, but that's just what I am. Last night on SmackDown, right? Kaden Carter and Katana Chance, they lost their tag team titles to Asuka and Kairi Sane, right? You just lost your tag team titles 24 hours ago. Why are you smiling, waving to the crowd, and skipping your way down to the ring after you just lost championship gold? If I would have been running down the ring, looking to go down there and kick ass, I'm not taking jokes from anybody, but that's just me nitpicking. Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, Isaiah Lee, Zelina Vega, Maxine Dupree, Nia Jax, Shotzi, and then number 21 came Becky Lynch. And then that's when this match got really good, because that's actually when the crowd woke up in this match, was when Becky Lynch came out. Alba Fire was 22, followed by Shayna Baszler, Valhalla, the spot with R-Truth. R-Truth thought he had number 24 in the Women's Royal Rumble match. And Valhalla doesn't know what's going on. And R-Truth runs into the ring. And I'm laughing talking about this because it's just hilarious. R-Truth is staring face to face with Nia Jax. And Nia Jax immediately tosses R-Truth out of the ring. Then Adam Pearce is there. Valhalla is acting all confused. And Pearce is like, you're not in this match. Valhalla is in this match in the Women's Royal Rumble. Valhalla gets in there. She gets eliminated immediately by Nia Jax. She's livid. She's pissed off. R-Truth basically costed her this Women's Royal Rumble. And, I mean, waste of spot, yeah, but it was funny. I'll give it a pass. That's the entertainment side that, hey, I will gladly take. Then we followed up with Michin, Zoe Stark, Roxanne Perez was 27, Jade Cargill was 28, and shout out to Tony Khan for nearly giving Jade Cargill the same music she had in AEW. She had A Storm Is Coming, which is the intro to her theme music in AEW. just the song is remixed a little bit. It's a little bit heavy metalish, and the crowd popped big. The crowd chanted "Holy shit!" And I actually thought Jade Cargill looked really good in this match. 29 was Tiffany Stratton, and number 30 was Liv Morgan. I thought that number 30 was going to AJ Lee. I would have went nuts, but it went to Liv Morgan instead. Let's talk about Jade. So before Jade came into the ring, Nia Jax was clearing house. And right when Nia Jax was the only one standing and the countdown started, I knew for sure that this was going to be Jade Cargill. And obviously, she's been training in the Performance Center for months. She was still very green in there. But tonight, they kind of hid her weakness. I thought she looked really good in there. I really did. She had a face-to-face with Nia Jax. They then were looking to take each other out. Jade then picked up Nia Jax and was able to power press her and slam her to the ground. Crowd went crazy for that. Then Nia Jax is hanging up on the rope. Jay went for the pump kick and was able to pick up Nia Jax and toss her over the top rope. Great. Showed her strength. In a match like this, this was probably the best spot for her to debut in WWE. She gets a big spot. She shows her power, and she eliminates the strongest woman in the match in Nia Jax. So I actually thought debuting Jade Cargill in this spot was really good. And I thought that the direction was going to be Nia Jax against Jade Cargill at WrestleMania, but now that Jade did this spot with Nia and she eliminated Nia by herself, she's kind of already proven herself against Nia Jax because she single-handedly eliminated Nia Jax in the Women's Royal Rumble. I actually thought this was a really good spot. Then she got taken out and she was laying on the side for like 5 minutes. Then she has a face-to-face with Bianca Belair. And I thought this was really good too. The Tampa, Florida crowd at Tropicana Field, which I thought was a little quiet throughout the night, was on their feet for this one. And then they got attacked by Becky Lynch and Bayley. They didn't even touch in this match, which I loved. And then at this point, we were down to Bayley, Jade Cargill, Tiffany Stratton, Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez, and Becky Lynch. I don't remember who eliminated Roxanne, but I think it was Roxanne and Bayley who eliminated Becky and Bianca. So at this point, we were down to Tiffany Stratton, Liv Morgan, Bayley, and Jade Cargill. It was Tiffany who eliminated Roxanne Perez. Tiffany Stratton gets eliminated by Jade Cargill. We're down to 3. You got Liv Morgan. You got all 3 of them battling on the inside. Bayley goes back into the ring. Liv Morgan gives the Oblivion to Jade Cargill. Bayley kicks Liv Morgan out of the ring. And Bayley wins the Women's Royal Rumble for the first time in her career. I thought this was going to Becky Lynch because I thought the most simplest way for Becky to get to WrestleMania was win the Women's Royal Rumble. You can set up Bayley versus Io Sky at WrestleMania just by having Damage Control turn on Bayley, and then boom, you have that match for WrestleMania. They decided to take the other option. Bayley wins the Women's Royal Rumble. They're thinking in the back of their mind that she's going to pick Rhea Ripley, but ultimately she's going to pick Io, and she's going to be turning face. It's Damage Control. They're kind of on the outs with Bayley. They've been, Bayley feels left out in the group. She feels out of place. You could see it tonight, too. Asuka and her just did a double team. Bayley went for the high five, and Asuka completely ignored her. But I'm happy for Bayley. It's the first time in her career that she is going to have a one-on-one singles match at WrestleMania. And you know what? Good for her. She deserves it. Last year, when she came back in 2022, she came back with Dakota Kai and Io Sky, looking to put them on the top of the division. She's putting over other wrestlers as well in the division to build them up for championship matches. She had a feud with Bianca Belair, a long feud with Bianca Belair when she first returned. She lost that feud. She lost a couple women's title matches, and then she basically took a backseat for nearly an entire year. She feuded with Becky Lynch. They had a fun steel cage match on Raw. I was there for that. And she's basically taken the backseat, and Io Sky's been the one that's been elevated, and she's the women's champion since SummerSlam. And now Bayley's been building up Damage Control. She's been putting over other women in the division. It's her time now. Now it's her time. And I'm excited to see how they get to Bayley and Io and how Bayley goes upon challenging Io instead of challenging Rhea Ripley, which they think is going to happen. So overall, I thought this Women's Royal Rumble match was very good and was probably my favorite match of the entire night. Fatal 4-way. It's what you would have expected. Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, LA Knight, AJ Styles, Roman Reigns retaining the WWE Championship, pinning AJ Styles. It's what's going to happen. It's the result that was going to happen. They've been building up Randy Orton as a legit threat to Roman Reigns. I feel like they weren't going to have him pin Randy Orton tonight. If Roman Reigns decided to work his ass at Elimination Chamber, I think Randy Orton and Roman Reigns would be an excellent main event for the Elimination Chamber. But Roman is taking the lazy way out, and according to reports, he's not working Elimination Chamber, which I think sucks. I'm tired of this part-time championship shit. It's the road to WrestleMania. Defend your fucking title. So each guy hit their big finishers on Roman Reigns. LA Knight hit the BFT, and AJ Styles broke it up. AJ Styles hit the Styles Clash on Roman Reigns, and LA Knight broke it up. Then Roman Reigns is finally getting momentum. And he's going for the Superman punch on Randy Orton. And Randy Orton hits a beautiful RKO on Roman Reigns when Roman is in the air getting ready to Superman punch Randy Orton. And he catches him in midair. And as he goes for the cover, Randy Orton had this match won. And again, bloodline interference. Solo drags the official out of the ring. And this has turned into a liability that every single big title defense Roman has on PLEs, pay-per-views, whatever you want to call it. I still call it a pay-per-view. He wrestles LA Knight, Solo, and Jimmy Uso are there. He wrestles Jay. Jimmy turns on his brother. He wrestles Cody. The entire family is out there. And it's a liability every single match that the bloodline is helping Roman Reigns. And it's become way too predictable for Roman Reigns matches. And that wasn't even a finish when Solo spiked Randy Orton and LA Knight, and then he went to spear AJ through the barricade, and he missed. And then AJ hit the phenomenal forearm and had all three of the guys stacked upon each other, and then they kicked out. That wasn't the finish of the match with Solo coming out. So if that wasn't going to be the finish, then why did Solo interfere in the match in the first place? He didn't have to have any interference at all. Roman Reigns just could have made a statement and had himself a clean win over AJ Styles, which was the result at the end. There was no need for Solo to interfere in this match because the end result was going to be Roman Reigns pinning AJ Styles clean. And that's what happened. So, Roman's your champion. What do I think the direction should be? After tonight, Randy Orton was the closest to coming to that championship. And if it wasn't for Solo, he would have won. So I think what I would do is Randy against Roman Reigns at Elimination Chamber. Solo causes him the championship once again. And you get Solo and Randy Orton at WrestleMania. But Roman Reigns is not going to work Elimination Chamber because fuck it, I don't have to. Sucks. Logan Paul against Kevin Owens. I wasn't feeling this match, and I don't like that. Obviously, I don't like that we get a DQ on pay-per-view, but the finish, I will give Triple H credit with this one. The finish was very creative. So they have one of Logan Paul's guys out there going to give Logan Paul the brass knucks. He's stopped immediately by security. Then Grayson Waller and Austin Theory come out there. Waller's getting in security's face, or he's getting in the ref's face, and Austin Theory gives Logan Paul the brass knucks. Then Logan Paul, he goes to punch Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens, he ducks. He grabs the brass knucks from Logan Paul. He punches Logan Paul in the face with the brass knucks. The referee counts 2, and then he looks up and sees that Kevin Owens had the brass knucks in his hand. He was wearing it on his hand. The referee calls for the bell, and it ended in a disqualification. I don't like the DQ finish on pay-per-view, but I thought the finish was very creative, and it gets Kevin Owens and Logan Paul another match, probably at the Elimination Chamber in Australia, and I think it has some stipulation in it, so we'll see, man. The Men's Royal Rumble. First off, I loved the way it started. Number 1 was Jey Uso. Number 2 was Jimmy Uso. Awesome. We're off to a great start here. Grayson Waller was number 3. Andrade, and in the intro of his entrance music, it said El Idolo. So Andrade El Idolo is back in WWE. I couldn't be any happier for him. You guys know how I feel about Andrade. I think that guy's a top 10 wrestler in the world. I've been saying that for years. Before he came to AEW, when I was reviewing WWE in the pandemic era. Now he's back in WWE. And you know what? The company's changed for the better. So I have no problem with ex-WWE guys coming back to the company. I think Andrade is going to be fine under Triple H. Number 5 was Carmelo Hayes. Number 6 was Shinsuke Nakamura. Then you had Santos Escobar, who I thought should have lasted longer in this match. Karrion Kross, Dominic Mysterio, Carlito, Bobby Lashley, Ludwig Kaiser, Austin Theory, Finn Balor, Cody Rhodes, Bronson Reed, Kofi Kingston, Gunther, Ivar, Braun Breaker, Omos, Pat McAfee, JD McDonough, R-Truth, The Miz, Damian Priest, CM Punk, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, and Sami Zayn. So, if you're going based off the surprise aspect of this match, yes, it was terrible. The only 2 surprises in this match was Andrade and Pat McAfee. And that Pat McAfee spot was atrocious. And it was the definition of a waste of spot, being intimidated by Omos and eliminating himself in the match. That spot was probably going to Brock Lesnar. But Based off a surprise aspect, it was terrible. It was terrible. You could have used Trick Williams for Omos, or you could have used I don't know. You could have used a legend that no one would have expected for JD McDonough, who was in the match for about 30 seconds, or somebody instead of Ivar, and a legend instead of Ivar. I just felt like this match was lacking energy and it was lacking excitement until the Final Four. I thought the Final Four was pretty good. Although, I don't think a lot of people are excited about the winner. I did like the final interaction between Cody and CM Punk. Those were the last two in the match. And CM Punk was acting very heelish. He was getting a couple boos from the Tampa crowd. And the match ended with Cody on Punk's shoulders. Punk was about to hit the GTS and he says, I didn't come back 10 years later just to lose to Dusty's kid. Cody catches Punk and he tosses him over the top rope. Punk finishes second, and for the second year in a row, Cody he wins the Royal Rumble. He points at the WrestleMania sign, and then he turns around, he goes to the opposite turnbuckle, and he points at Roman Reigns, saying, I choose you. And I love it. We're not wasting any time. We're getting right to it. There's no way Cody's picking anybody but Roman Reigns. And after last year's debacle of a finish, after a great main event, Cody should have won last year. But now WWE has the opportunity to write a fantastic story with a great underdog story of Cody Rhodes fighting back the entire year, having to win the Royal Rumble once again, now having an ally in the same family as Roman Reigns with Jey Uso. I guarantee you Cody's going to get Jey Uso back to SmackDown now, and we're going to get Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso at WrestleMania, and this is his year. They better crown that man on April 7th. They better crown Cody Rhodes. There's no need for Roman Reigns to pass the record of Hulk Hogan. There's no need. As far as Punk goes, I thought for sure CM Punk was going to win the Royal Rumble, and then the knee injury with Seth Rollins happened in an unnecessary match against Jinder Mahal. That shit did not need to happen. Okay? So my guess is there's going to be a match at Elimination Chamber. The winner's going to face Seth at WrestleMania. And we're going to have to wait until Elimination Chamber to see how Seth's feeling. Because that company needs Seth Rollins for WrestleMania. And I think Punk is going to win the Elimination Chamber. And your main events are set. Night one, your main event for the World Heavyweight Championship is going to be CM Punk against Seth Rollins. And your night two main event for the WWE Championship is going to be Cody Rhodes against Roman Reigns. I'm fucking excited, man. I'm excited. One, because I'm going to WrestleMania this year. I've waited my entire life for WrestleMania to come to Philadelphia, to come to my area. I didn't go to WrestleMania 35 in MetLife. However, I did make the trip to Tampa during COVID for WrestleMania 37. Now Philly, the best city in the world, gets a full-fledged WrestleMania weekend. I'm so damn excited, man. I'm so excited. I'm going to WrestleMania Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to NXT TakeOver Saturday afternoon. It's going to be legendary. The road to WrestleMania is finally here, man. It's finally here. I'm out. Thank you guys for joining me. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. You're going to want to be subscribed now, because on the road to WrestleMania, I'm not saying I'm going to be reviewing Raw and SmackDown, but I'll pop in once in a while if something big happens, and obviously I'll review the Elimination Chamber. But then I said a couple weeks ago, I said last week that I've got something up my sleeve for the month of April, and this was it. 3 vlogs. I don't know yet. I'll figure it out with Takeover because it's on the same day as WrestleMania. I'll figure it out with that one. But um, I'm out. Thank you guys for joining me. Subscribe, comment, hit the like button if you like what you heard from me. Follow me on Twitter, Colin_Joseph. I'll see you in the next video. I'm out. Peace.